Has anyone here ever been afraid of being buried alive? As weird as this fear may seem, it was actually quite common in the past. So much so that there's even a term for it: taphophobia. And honestly, back before modern medicine, this fear wasn't entirely irrational. Determining whether someone was truly dead was a tricky and sometimes inaccurate process. To put things into perspective, in 1905, an English writer named William Tebb documented 219 cases of premature burials. Now imagine how many went unrecorded or happened elsewhere. However, where there are problems, there are also opportunities for people dreaming of a lucrative patent. And that's exactly what we're doing in this video. Well, not getting a lucrative patent, but digging into some patents that aim to solve this problem. The first idea, patented in 1882, attempted to solve the issue with a life indicator. Basically, the buried person could rotate a T-shaped tube to move an indicator above the ground. This indicator was protected from the rain by a glass cover, which also prevented it from being accidentally moved. Smart thinking. This safety lock here at point F had the same goal, to make sure the indicator didn't change position after being triggered. Looking at the design, it seems like the tube system would also allow air to flow in for the poor soul trapped below. You'd just have to hope someone saw the indicator soon enough. Although, I'm not sure how well this open passage for air and gases would work in terms of, well, smell. But it wouldn't be for long. The top part of the device was meant to be removed after a while and reused elsewhere. I think we can say this inventor found a solution, right? Alright, let's see if the next idea is any better. This 1868 patent equipped the grave with several features to help the buried person escape. First, we have an air inlet here, allowing them to wake up before running out of oxygen. After that, if this miracle happened, a ladder H was provided for the person to climb out. But what if they were too weak to climb the ladder? No worries. They could still ring a bell by pulling this rope to call for help. After a few days, once it was certain the person wasn't coming back, this tube C would be removed, and this door L would be closed by a spring M. The only problem would be if the spring triggered too soon. Well, that would be some seriously bad luck, right? Moving on to the next idea. These inventors really went all out with this one. The first thing that stands out is this large forced ventilation system, designed to bring fresh, breathable air inside. The fan was powered by a spring mechanism, like a wind-up toy. The downside? It only worked for a limited time. But hey, in 1885, it was either that or a half-baked DC motor with a crappy battery. The inventors did include a battery, but it was for triggering an alarm that would alert people that yet another person had been buried alive. Because in a world where this kind of contraption is necessary, it's probably happening all the time, right? Another movement indicator was this rod, which was pushed up by a spring and carried a bunch of feathers, or any other eye-catching signal. Continuing with the idea, we have this tube, strategically positioned over the person's face so a lamp could be lowered inside, allowing someone to take a look. Honestly, I would have just made the tube bigger so the poor guy could just get out of there. But how does all of this work? The ventilation system was activated by a rope tied to the left hand, while the spring-loaded rod was triggered by a rope attached to the right hand. As for the alarm was set off when the hands touched an exposed wire powered by the battery, closing the electrical circuit. Since human body resistance varies a lot, there's a chance this system wouldn't work. I would have just linked it to the same trigger as the ventilation or the rod. But if you think these ideas are relics of the past, think again. I found two fairly recent patents, one from 2010 and another from 2015. The goal isn't the same as before, but they're still pretty strange. In this 2010 patent, the coffin features a system that allows the living to communicate with the deceased through music and audio messages, which can be updated wirelessly. The speaker is placed next to this photo. Of course, today, this would just be a small LED screen. But honestly, none of this makes any sense. This other patent from 2015 is practically the same, except here, the deceased gets to pick the songs, which play for eternity thanks to these solar panels, or at least until they rise from the grave to smash the device. And if the living also want to listen, they can plug in their headphones right here. This is an invention for music lovers, or for anyone trying to escape Vecna. Well, after all these bizarre inventions, I think we can all agree on one thing. Thank goodness for modern medicine. But hey, if you're still worried about being buried alive, Maybe start working on your own high-tech escape coffin. Bluetooth, AI, the possibilities are endless. Just make sure your battery doesn't run out at the wrong time.